There are people who leave like a storm, slamming doors, burning photographs, turning every memory into evidence. And then there are those rare souls who leave like sunset light, quietly, beautifully, with enough warmth that even the ending feels strangely tender. These are the zodiac signs who understand one of the hardest truths about love. Not every relationship is meant to last forever, but that does not mean it was a mistake. Some people come into our lives to awaken us, soften us, teach us, save us from ourselves for a season, and then, when the lesson is complete, they do not destroy the bridge behind them. They simply change the way they stand beside us. These signs do not always break up because they stop caring. Sometimes they break up because they can see the future more clearly than their partner can. They feel when love has turned into habit, when passion has become responsibility, when two people are holding hands but walking toward different lives. And instead of waiting until resentment poisons everything, they make the difficult choice earlier. That is why their former lovers often cannot hate them for long. They may cry, they may feel abandoned, they may replay the final conversation 100 times, but eventually they realize something important. This person did not leave to humiliate them. They left because they did not want love to rot into bitterness. Their secret is not coldness. It is emotional intelligence. They know how to soften the blow without lying. They know when to say, "You mattered to me," and when not to promise something they cannot give. They do not always do it perfectly. Some of them disappear too gently. Some joke when the moment needs seriousness. Some make freedom sound so beautiful that the other person forgets to ask why they are being released. But still, they have a strange gift. They can turn a breakup into a memory that hurts less with time. These 7 signs are the ones most likely to become friends with an ex, not because they never loved deeply, but because they often understand love as something larger than possession. To them, losing the romantic label does not always mean losing the person. Sometimes the lover becomes a witness. Sometimes the ex becomes family in another form. Sometimes the person who once broke your heart becomes the only one who still remembers who you were before life changed you. And that is why their partners often forgive them, because even when they leave something precious behind: respect. Libra. Libra does not break up like a villain. Libra breaks up like someone trying to protect the beauty of the story before the final chapter becomes ugly. This sign can sense emotional imbalance early. The delayed replies, the tired smiles, the conversations that used to sparkle but now feel like careful negotiations. Libra may suffer silently for weeks, even months, because they hate hurting someone who once made them happy. But when they finally decide to leave, they usually prepare the ground with tenderness. They do not throw accusations like knives. They choose a quiet place, a soft tone, and words that make the other person feel seen rather than discarded. Libra's unique technique is the dignified ending. They remind their partner of what was real. They say, in one form or another, "You were important. I will never pretend you were not." This is why many of their exes cannot stay angry forever. Libra does not erase people. They preserve them in memory like a beautiful photograph, even if the relationship no longer belongs in the present. But Libra also has a flaw. Sometimes they are too elegant with the truth. They may soften the breakup so much that the other person hears hope where there is none. They may say, "I need time," when they already know the answer is no. This can make the healing slower. Still, once the pain settles, many partners understand that Libra was not trying to escape responsibility. Libra was trying not to turn love into war. A Libra ex may still remember your favorite song, still ask about your mother, still congratulate you when something good happens. And somehow, that makes it hard to hate them. They leave with grace, and grace is dangerous because it keeps the heart from closing completely. Gemini. Gemini is one of the few signs that can break up and still make you laugh through tears. They have a strange, almost magical ability to change the atmosphere of a painful conversation. One minute you are preparing for heartbreak. The next, Gemini says something so honest, human, and oddly funny that the room becomes breathable again. They do not do this because they are unserious. They do it because they fear emotional heaviness like a locked room. If the breakup becomes too dramatic, too suffocating, too final, Gemini feels trapped, and Gemini never handles trapped feelings well. Their unique technique is the conversation bridge. Gemini does not simply announce the end. They talk their way through it. They explain, ask questions, remember good moments, confess confusion, and sometimes admit things with shocking honesty. "I still care about you, but I don't know how to be the person you need." That sentence can hurt, but it also feels clean. It does not insult the partner. It does not blame them. It simply reveals the truth. Why do partners often become friends with Gemini afterward? Because Gemini keeps the mental connection alive. They may stop being your lover, but they still send you the article that reminds them of you. They still remember the joke only the two of you understood. They still know how to make you feel interesting. For many people, that is hard to lose. But Gemini's weakness is inconsistency. They can be warm after the breakup, then disappear for days. They may flirt accidentally, not realizing the other person is still bleeding inside. They may turn friendship on too quickly before the heart has had time to adjust. This can confuse their exes badly. Still, Gemini rarely leaves with hatred. They leave with unfinished sentences, late-night messages, strange little jokes, and the feeling that perhaps the romance ended, but the story did not. Their exes forgive them because Gemini often makes heartbreak feel less like rejection and more like a change of language. Sagittarius. Sagittarius breaks up when the relationship begins to feel like a cage, even if that cage is made of love, loyalty, and beautiful memories. This sign can adore someone deeply and still know they are not meant to stay. Sagittarius is ruled by hunger for truth, distance, movement, discovery. They are not always built for relationships that require emotional predictability. When they feel their spirit shrinking, they become restless, blunt, distracted. At first, they may try to run from the truth. Then one day, they say it with painful simplicity. I don't want to hurt you by staying when my heart is already halfway gone. Their unique technique is the honest release. Sagittarius often gives their partner something many people never receive in a breakup: the raw truth. Not a polished excuse, not a mysterious disappearance, not a cruel list of flaws, just the real reason. I need freedom. We want different lives. I love you, but I am not happy in the way I should be. It hurts, yes. But later, when the partner looks back, they often realize Sagittarius respected them enough not to lie. The reason exes often forgive Sagittarius is that this sign rarely wants ownership after love ends. They do not usually punish the other person for moving on. In fact, Sagittarius may be the ex who cheers when you find someone new. They can say, with a strange brightness, you deserve that kind of love, and mean it. But Sagittarius can also be careless. Their honesty sometimes arrives without enough softness. They may underestimate how much their words wound. They may want to become friends too quickly because, in their mind, the breakup was simply the truth finally being spoken. But the other person may still be standing in the ruins. Even so, Sagittarius often leaves behind respect. Their partners may cry, curse, and swear they will never speak again, but months later, they remember the laughter, the adventures, the wild honesty, and somehow, the anger turns into gratitude. Aquarius. Aquarius is not the easiest sign to understand and love, but they are often one of the easiest to remain friends with after love ends. Why? Because Aquarius usually values the person beyond the romance. They may struggle with emotional intensity, but they are deeply loyal to the idea of connection. If you once mattered to them, you may always matter in some unusual, quiet, intellectual, distant but real way. Aquarius does not usually break up in a dramatic emotional flood. Their unique technique is the rational separation. They step back, analyze the relationship, and explain the ending as if both people are standing outside the story looking in. They might say, "We keep hurting each other because we are trying to force something that no longer fits." It may sound too calm at first. Their partner may wonder, "Did you ever feel anything?" But later, they often understand. Aquarius was not cold. Aquarius was trying to keep the breakup from becoming a battlefield. This sign often offers friendship because they genuinely mean it, not the fake friendship people offer to reduce guilt. Aquarius can separate romance from companionship more easily than most signs. They may no longer want kisses, shared beds, or daily emotional responsibility, but they may still want conversations, ideas, loyalty, and mutual respect. The problem is that Aquarius can seem emotionally unavailable during the most painful part. Their partner may need tears, reassurance, warmth, and visible grief. Aquarius may offer logic, space, and a strangely calm voice. That can feel insulting. It can make the partner think, "I am falling apart, and you are explaining this like a science project." But time changes the picture. Later, many exes realize Aquarius did not humiliate them, manipulate them, or turn friends against them. Aquarius simply refused to fake a feeling that had changed. And because they do not usually make breakups messy, Their exes can often return to them as friends, not always close friends, sometimes distant friends, but real ones. Aquarius teaches a strange lesson. Sometimes love ends not because it failed, but because it evolved into something the world has no proper name for. Virgo. Virgo does not usually leave in a dramatic scene. Virgo leaves after quietly trying to fix everything first. They notice the tiny cracks long before anyone else does. The way affection becomes duty. The way apologies become automatic. The way two people begin living beside each other instead of with each other. Virgo will analyze, improve, adjust, forgive, and try again. But once they understand that love has become a project instead of a home, they begin preparing for the most respectful exit possible. Their unique technique is the clean closure. Virgo does not want chaos. They want clarity. They may return your sweater, cancel the shared subscriptions, explain who keeps what, and still ask whether you ate dinner. It sounds unromantic, but there is deep care in it. Virgo knows that confusion makes heartbreak worse, so they try to remove unnecessary pain. They do not want you wondering where you stand. They tell you. Why do their exes often become friends with them? Because Virgo remains useful in the most human way. They remember your allergies. They remind you about your appointment. They know when you are lying and saying you are fine. Even after love ends, Virgo often continues to care through small, practical gestures. And sometimes those gestures are more powerful than poetry. But Virgo's flaw is emotional restraint. They may sound too composed, too reasonable, too adult when the other person wants them to break down and prove the love was real. Their calmness can feel like rejection. Yet later, the ex often realizes Virgo was hurting too. They simply did not want to make their pain another burden. Virgo leaves with order, not cruelty. And because they do not destroy the dignity of the person they once loved, many former partners eventually return not with romance, but with trust. Pisces. Pisces breaks up as if they are apologizing to the universe. This sign feels endings deeply, almost physically. Even when Pisces knows the relationship is over, they may grieve the imaginary future as much as the real past. They remember the first look, the unfinished dreams, the little promises made in kitchens, cars, bedrooms, and rainy streets. For Pisces, love does not simply stop. It changes shape, becomes music, becomes memory, becomes a ghost that follows them softly. Their unique technique is the beautiful farewell. Pisces has a gift for making even a breakup feel meaningful. They may write a message that sounds like a final chapter. They may say, "I will always be grateful that you were part of my life." They may cry with you, hold your hand, and make you feel that the relationship mattered from the first day to the last. This is why partners often cannot stay offended. Pisces rarely makes someone feel thrown away. They make them feel mourned. But this sweetness has a dangerous side. Pisces can blur the ending. They may continue to send emotional messages, remember anniversaries, or speak with such tenderness that the ex wonders if there is still hope. Pisces sometimes wants emotional closeness without returning to the relationship, and that can hurt someone who is trying to heal. Still, it is hard to hate Pisces for long. They are not usually leaving to win, punish, or prove superiority. They leave because the dream no longer matches reality, and Pisces, despite their softness, eventually understands when a dream has become a cage. Many Pisces exes become friends because Pisces keeps the soul connection alive. Not loudly, not daily, but in the strange way they remember who you were when the world was gentle. Leo. Leo may surprise people on this list, because Leo is dramatic in love. They love being adored, chosen, admired, remembered. But when Leo has grown emotionally mature, they can break up with astonishing nobility. They do not want the ending to make either person feel small. Leo wants to walk away with pride, and they want you to keep yours too. Their unique technique is the royal goodbye. Leo often frames the breakup as something that does not erase the value of either partner. They might say, "We were beautiful, but we are not right anymore." They know how to honor the romance. They may remember the best moments out loud, not to manipulate, but to prove the relationship was not meaningless. Leo understands that people can survive heartbreak better when they do not feel humiliated by it. Why do their partners often forgive them? Because Leo can be generous even while leaving. They may defend their ex in public. They may refuse to let friends mock the relationship. They may say, "That person was good to me," even when things ended painfully. This loyalty after the breakup is unforgettable. It makes the ex feel protected, not abandoned. But Leo's weakness is pride. Sometimes they make the breakup look too polished. They may act strong when they are devastated. They may want to be remembered as the magnificent one who left gracefully, and this can make their partner feel as if they are part of Leo's legend rather than Leo's real heartbreak. Yet Leo's warmth is real. If they loved you, they will usually not reduce you to an enemy. And years later, Leo may still greet you like someone who once held a crown in their kingdom. That is why many of their former lovers cannot hate them. Leo makes people feel unforgettable even after goodbye. The 7 signs that most easily transform lovers into friends are Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Virgo, Pisces, and Leo. Each of them has a different gift. Libra gives beauty to the ending. Gemini keeps the conversation alive. Sagittarius gives truth. Aquarius gives space. Virgo gives order. Pisces gives tenderness. Leo gives dignity. They are not perfect. Some are too gentle, some too blunt, some too distant, some too charming for their own good. But they share one rare talent. They usually do not need to destroy someone in order to leave them. They understand that a breakup does not have to become a courtroom, a battlefield, or a funeral. For every good memory.
Hello, the best viewers in the world. Happy to have you here. This is my YouTube channel, Star Diggers, and I'm proud of having you here. I believe you subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of new horoscopes for you about your destiny, about your future, about your love partner. And I believe you will stay with me and you will subscribe to my channel and believe in stars and